Let's get things started. We're going to start off with Dak Prescott here. So the Cowboys do lose Sunday Night Football, in which I picked that game for the Cowboys. They lost to the Bucks 19-3. The Cowboys were the only team that week in week 1 to not score a touchdown. All those pieces they have on offense, not a single touchdown. I understand week 1 is rough for a lot of NFL offenses, but not one touchdown, it's a little tough. Dak, at some point in the second half during the game, fractured his thumb, expected to be out 4 to 6 weeks, although reports have came back and said he can be back in about 4 games, so maybe a month. Right now, Cooper Rush is scheduled to start for the Cowboys. He is their current backup quarterback, and there's been a litany of options that have been listed for the Cowboys and who they could go with, who they could use to try to keep pace in the NFC East while Dak Prescott is out. We've seen names like Cam Newton pop up. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo. We've seen maybe Gardner Minshew. We've seen even Colin Kaepernick pop up. So out of all those guys, who are the Cowboys going to roll with? It's going to be Cooper Rush. Let's look at this. Dak's expected to be out for about a month. Let's say 4 games. Okay, this is the beginning of the season. You know, games are important, but everyone's still getting it together. They're still letting the flows of the preseason go by and adapt. They're still getting used to the teammates, still getting used to the playbooks, getting used to their environment. What they're doing, their assignments. By the time you bring in a guy that's a free agent, and believe me, I'd love to see Cam Newton come back and play. I'm his biggest fan. I would love to see Jimmy Garoppolo possibly get a chance. You never know, but by the time you make a trade or you sign a guy, he comes in, has to learn the playbook. No matter what you think about the Colin Kaepernick situation, the guy hasn't played in years. It would be an immense challenge for him to come in and just start right away. It just wouldn't happen. You come in and you look at this. They've got to roll with Cooper Rush. They really don't have an opportunity unless they want to spend a pick on a Jimmy Garoppolo or Gardner Minshew, which if you're trading with the Eagles, they're going to dangle them like a carrot over your head trying to get as much as you can. You don't want to trade with a division rival. Even if you do, Dak's your franchise guy. You're going to stick with him. So you're really just looking for 4 games. Cooper Rush is their guy. He played a little bit last season. He had his moments. He looked good. Cowboys have got 2 really solid running backs. They did lose Amari Cooper and some other guys there in that receiving core. You do have CeeDee Lamb. I think Michael Gallup is still there as well. I could be wrong. But you got to roll with this guy. It's only 4 games, and they just have to make their scheme. I like Kellen Moore as an offensive coordinator. I know some people may find that shocking, but the Cowboys, for the most part, have been generally decent at scoring points. Now, when it comes to crunch time, that's a different story. We don't know if that's a personnel thing or a play calling thing. However, I think you got to go with Cooper Rush. I think that he's your guy. He knows the system. He's played. And don't forget about Will Grier. Will Grier is still on that roster as well, I believe. He was with the Panthers. A lot of people had high hopes for him coming out of college. Word on the street is that he looked pretty decent in the preseason. Maybe you throw him in there as well. However, I think that you have to go with Cooper Rush. The Dak injury is going to be short-term at best. So get Cooper Rush ready to go. That way, even if Dak comes back and gets hurt again, this guy, he's got playing experience. He knows the system. He knows what to do. He'll be there. He'll be in the wings. He'll be ready. I just don't think it's worth the time to go out and sign a guy to have to go and learn the playbook, to have to go and do this and that, and it's just a lot just for this amount of short term that we think Dak's going to be out. It could be longer, but we think 4 to 6 weeks. I would say about a month. I think they're really going to try to rush this and get back as quickly as possible because you look at the NFC East, it's normally a tough division. I think right now I picked the Eagles to win the division, I picked the Cowboys to win the division, but the Eagles were a close second. I like their team. I like what they have. So the Cowboys have got to try to stay in the thick of this thing. So, which seems very Cowboy-esque. They are trying to stay in the thick of the division. So we will see what happens there.
Running through my city where they love me, I'm the realest shit. Can't nobody touch me now, I know they reppin', kicking it. Bumping out the system, Jordan 23, I'm feeling it. Carolina blue dripping, listen when the Hiller spit. They don't understand what's inside, it's my DNA. I've been screaming damn in my mind, so get out the way. When that shit go dark